Before watching this video, be warned that it does contain spoilers for Star Wars: The Last Jedi. During the events of The Last Jedi, we saw an assortment of new vehicles, all of which range from improvements of older models, scrap vehicles, and entirely new models as well. Over the next couple of videos, I'll be covering these new vehicles by first looking at everything that the First Order brought into play. The first of which is the First Order Mandator 4 Siege Class Dreadnought Cruiser. The one that we see during the film is called the Fulminatrix and is captained by Captain Moden Kennedy. The lower surface of the Fulminatrix supported orbital bombardment cannons that can punch through planetary shields and tear apart capital ships. The Dreadnought also had an assortment of cannons along the top side to defend against fighters that made an attack. The interior also is lit a dim red so gunnery crews can maintain night vision as they switch between targeting computers and visual scans of the surrounding space. Although the Fulminatrix was destroyed by the Resistance, there are still numerous Dreadnought Cruisers ready to take its place within the fleets of the First Order. From Dreadnoughts to fighters, we also saw the introduction of Kylo Ren's personal Starfighter, the TIE Silencer. This ship is a prototype model, so we could see a more finished version of this fighter in Episode 9, even perhaps in mass production as well. However, Ren's version supported heavy laser cannons towards the base of the fighter, and the cockpit itself was shielded and armored. Now we move to quite possibly the largest Star Destroyer in Star Wars canon, the Supremacy, Snoke's personal mega-class Star Destroyer. This Star Destroyer was 60 kilometers wide and supported a crew of well over 1 million. The Star Destroyer itself was so large that it also carried within it factories that constructed the vehicles of the First Order. It even supported a shipyard that could construct the massive First Order Star Destroyers as well. Unfortunately, the Supremacy was the only Star Destroyer of its kind, and thanks to an incredibly heroic sacrifice from Admiral Holdo, the vessel is no more. The First Order also introduced a number of ground vehicles, some which saw action in The Last Jedi. The first of which is the menacing, all-terrain Mega Caliber 6 Walker. It is essentially mobile artillery thanks in part to the cannon placed just above the head of the Walker. The AT-M6 walking style differs from that of its predecessor, the AT-AT, in a way that it walks more like a gorilla, hence its nickname, the Gorilla Walker. Even though the AT-M6 is in use by the First Order, the regime still makes use of the older AT-AT, however, not without making improvements of their own. The First Order has now used lighter materials which are as strong as the armor used on the original AT-AT, and they can now be layered on top of the Walker, giving it much more protection while reducing the weight. For those who played Star Wars Battlefront 2, you've already had the opportunity to see this vehicle before its official introduction. This is the First Order AT-ST. Similar to the armor of the AT-AT, the material is lighter but still stronger than the Imperial model of the Walker. The First Order has also made improvements to the gyroscopic systems which stabilize the Walker's balance. The next vehicle is not used as a weapon but more as a mover as indicated by its name. The all-terrain heavy haulers, or the AT-HH, have legs that make up a complex arrangement, giving it great resistance to battle damage. Now these AT-HHs were used to pull a super laser siege cannon onto the battlefield of Crate towards the end of The Last Jedi. This siege cannon is 200 meters long and is described as using miniaturized Death Star technology. It was even powered by a composite Kyber crystal. Now these were all the vehicles that the First Order brought into the fray during the events of The Last Jedi. Stay tuned to the next video as we'll look at vehicles that the Resistance brought to the dance. Also tell me in the comment section below which of these vehicles were your favorite. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to press that like button and share with your friends to get them in on the conversation as well. If you haven't already, subscribe to the Marauders Guild and ring that bell to be notified of whenever we upload. Until the next time, may the force of others be with you.